And see, we were lucky because we lived in the country. We didn't have to worry about sewage and trash, you know.
But we had to have electricity to keep the water well running and electricity to survive.
That was our main concern. Had to have gas and had to have electricity. That was our main concern. Other than that, our neighbors. He had
400 something acres on the river.
Yeah, 400 something acres. And
he was too sick to hunt. He couldn't even hold a gun steady. I had to go out and hunt for meat to put on the table.
She would bring in wild hog, deer during deer season, you know, and we had plenty of vegetables coming out of the garden.
That's how we survived. We were fronted $6,000 from an attorney and lived on it for over a year. It can be done. We were bound and determined to show these people, I don't care if they're billionaires, you're not going to stop us. And I still believe that. They are not going to stop the little guy from having his say.
Hey, country boy can't survive.
They keep doing wrong, we're going to keep fighting. They keep doing this to the next employee, we're going to be there for support. We lived it. It ain't no fun.
And the things that they have sent to the bay has made me realize that it has caused harm to the ecosystem, the people in Calhoun County and surrounding counties. And when all this happened, I made a vow to myself that I was going to make sure that I was going to protect our children's children, that they weren't going to be exposed to these chemicals that they're pumping into the bay. I want to protect our children.
But we have to put a stop to it. My son, every time we have a meeting, walks down here to the bayfront, and if you want to get a close-up on this, we'll pick a debris line, and in that debris line you have all of these little PVC pellets. Not only are they behind Point Comfort locally where the discharge is, they can be found all along the Port Lavaca Bayfront area. We found them all the way out to the little jetties in Port O'Connor. Now that has traveled a huge distance. I don't think that the general public here knows that this is being discharged. They're not permitted to discharge solids. They have their permits from the state, but they're not permitted to discharge solids. This is solids, if you ask me. It's all over our bay system. What is it doing to the sports fishermen? What is it doing to the ecosystem here? What is it doing to the community? I'm not eating any fish out of these waters. That'd be the last thing you'll ever catch me doing. We took some of the investigators by boat when we were doing this down the Navidad-Lavaca River to the little islands behind Point Comfort. Lord help me, God was on our side. We had a high tide. Formosa had a huge discharge, and the tide had gone out. The debris line that we came up on behind Point Comfort was over 3 feet wide of PVC pellets. The investigator from TNRCC photographed it. The investigator, the FBI investigator, was there with us as an eyewitness. Nothing became of this case. Nothing became of this case. We're here to support the next whistleblower who opens his mouth to make sure he doesn't get swept under the carpet like we did.
Right. Do you think maybe getting a close-up pellets in the hand would be good?
Don't put them in your hand.
No, put them in your hand then.
Then they're going to say that they're perfectly safe.
Well, you know, the sad thing, I remember growing up and just chewing on little plastic toys. all the
Get
time.
something.
Yeah.
Can we get
Tide,
something?
Beanie Babies.
Get
You
your
know
son
what's
to
in
hold
him?
Yeah.
Get Cheyenne in here to hold them.
I don't even know where he's
Can we
at.
get
No, we
Cheyenne
don't want it.
sitting out front?
He's sitting out front.
You don't have Cheyenne say anything?
If
Can
you
you
can talk to
speak
him.
to what those are specifically, chemical-wise, and that's just
They're
PVC?
discharged from the plant. I don't know what they come from.
What do you think
That
they
probably
are?
comes
They're
more
PVC
too.
pellets
They're
that
just-
now see
hard
these
PVC.
darker ones have
Uh-huh.
come in contact. They're contaminated,
Yep.
Hey, Cheyenne?
and she's holding it in her hand. As fish eat, I contacted biologists. As fish eat these pellets, they become contaminated, and then they poop it out. All right. The more the fish eats, the higher the concentration gets. The more fish you eat, the higher the concentration gets in you.
Okay, how about let's get Cheyenne? Can he get in here? Or
This pile found down at the harbor that way, you know, in an area about 6 inches. Same with this pile,
That was back here.
same thing over there. And this pile found today, I don't know where it's called,
Black Rock.
Down
Black Rock.
into the seawall.
And that was a pile about that big. And
Okay, how frequently can you find these? I mean, is it hard to find this stuff?
no,
Okay, could you say that? It's really easy to.
it's really easy to find them.
When did you first start noticing them?
Okay, now don't answer the question, just make a statement. I noticed them, like, how old were you when you first became aware of these?
I lived in Lolita.
You grew up with it. I grew up with this stuff.
Um, 16.
Let's make a statement.
And that's
Yeah.
kind of weird, like I'm asking you a question, but I'm asking you to say it a different way so we can keep me out of it.
Ever since I can remember them, it has been about 10 years, possibly around there.
Everywhere.
Do kids play with this stuff, or is it's pretty common that kids might be digging around in it and maybe putting it in their pockets, taking it home, or
Kids probably don't know what it is. They might eat it. And just horrible stuff.
that's good. That's good. Okay, thank you. It's a very, very small thing, but this is like eyewitness testimony, and there aren't any other young people involved in this.
That's doing this,
But it's
yeah.
good to have somebody representing for that age group. And have you ever seen any kids